Rate parity issues. So usually you'll have some weird rates published on some weird websites which you are not directly in contract with them, but they are publishing your rates, and sometimes for you you are not able to find out from where they have got this price. So that is what we are going to discuss. Rate disparity nowadays, it's something which is a big challenge for hotels, as you will have a lot of your partners which will become, and those they will be complaining basically that they are their rates are not parity with another channel, and you are offering let's say certain discounts or some kind of privilege to them, and they are able to get the lower rates, but uh, in fact you are not doing that. You are offering everyone the same rate. However, there are different practices by the different partners which are causing you rate disparity issue as a hotel, that we will discuss here. So to start with, we'll have to examine the various rates available online, categorize them into two distinct segments: qualified rates and unqualified rates. Now, qualified rates require potential guests to meet certain criteria or conditions to access them. For example, qualifying for a specific rate might involve booking a flight alongside the hotel reservation. So you book this as a package, as a flight plus accommodation, where the low room rate is bundled with airfare. And also some hotels offer this. They call them the package rate, for example. They will offer certain discount. Okay. So that's qualified rates. So here right now we are just talking about the qualified rates and unqualified rates. Now, unqualified rates, on the other hand, are open to anyone and do not have any specific requirement. Common example of unqualified rates include those booked through platforms like booking.com or directly on your hotel's website. So these are unqualified rates. There is no prerequisite to access this rate. Additionally, there are numerous websites with which your hotel may not have a direct contract, but they still provide unqualified rates for your hotel rooms. For instance, websites like agoda.com and hotelsclick.com fall into this category. These sites often display outdated or inaccurate information about hotels based on personal experience. What we have seen over the time, their customer service tend to be, subpar. These smaller travel agencies, online travel agencies, basically OTAs, can become a source of significant frustration, especially when they appear in meta search engine results. This can lead to additional challenges such as, I'll explain this. So usually, I'll explain there here as well the meta search, which I'll explain later as well. Meta search engine is basically a platform where if you go and search for a particular date, it shows you the rate for a hotel. Let's say hotel ABC. If you search for a particular date, it will show you how much this hotel, for example ABC, is selling on booking.com, how much they are selling on their direct website, how much they are selling on Agoda, how much they are selling on Expedia, etc. So if you have someone leaking the rates, or for example Agoda or hotels click, they'll be showing lower rates than the rates on your website or booking.com. This creates a problems, and if other partners, other OTAs, they find this out, they will be sending you a lot of screenshots saying and basically asking for explanation why you are offering low rates to those OTAs. But actually we are not, most of the times we are not directly contracted with them. It's just that they try to get these rates from some other third parties, and basically put some kind of discount on that and display them. This will also discuss, we have a rate leakage topic in the following slide, so we'll discuss that. Now, their rates are lower than those offered on your own website, even though you may provide a best rate guarantee. As I mentioned in one of the previous slides, uh, even we are, as a hotelier, for example, we offer best rate guarantee, but still there seems to be issue when someone is searching on meta search on or different platforms where we are not directly contracted, but those OTAs don't know and they will still complain about it. The representation of your hotel on these OTS landing pages within the search engine is disorganized, creating a negative impression that we want to avoid, obviously instilling in our potential customers. So why is it that OTAs sometimes manage to offer rates lower than the best available rates listed on our own hotel website? Now we have, within rate parity issues, we have something we call it rate leakage, how these rates are being leaked. So there are two primary factors that can lead to what we call it as leakage. So you have static rates leakage. So static rates are basically the rates which you offer to your offline business, to your tour operators, B2B partners, etc. So static rates leakage is the more prevalent of the two types, right? This form of leakage arises when static net rates are distributed in places where they shouldn't be. To simplify the concept, consider a potential scenario. You have a net or FIT rate agreement with a wholesaler, a B2B partner. Let's assume this wholesaler has around 1,000 partners, either directly connected through an interface or manually through a website. Now, one of their partners distributes your rooms to another intermediary who collaborates with a minor online travel agency. So that's how this rate leakage starts. So in general, you do not want your static rates to be accessible to the end customer, which is B2C, business to customer, without appropriate qualification, as these rates differ from your standard retail rates. In other words, booking this rate should not be possible unless customers qualify for it in the correct manner. A publicly accessible website doesn't constitute a proper qualification unless it's part of a package deal, such as when bundled with a flight or a similar agreement, similar arrangement. The correct method for selling or distributing a static rate, as mentioned, include packaging it within a travel package, selling it offline through a travel agent, or offering it within a closed environment. And by closed environment, I mean that it might encompass a membership website for a credit card company where guests utilize their credit card member points to book hotel rooms. That is there, but then that's like it's not for general public. It's for someone who qualifies for it. So these are certain scenarios where it can be sold, not otherwise. Now, so that was static rates, and now we have qualified dynamic rates leakage. So imagine you have an online travel agent partner with whom you share both your best available rates and discounted rates. This partner might be one of the major OTAs. Let's explore a simplified scenario where things could go awry. Sorry, where things could go away. So you introduce a promotional rate with specific restrictions, such as limiting it to American market or to European market or certain only specific market. However, a partner within their extensive affiliate network, they manage somehow to access this rate and they distribute it not only to the American market but also to the domestic market. Now, these are just a few examples of how rate leakage issues can arise. There can be more basically, which If you want to discuss, then we can you can drop me an email and or contact me, and we can discuss that. Now, as systems become more interconnected, our task is to determine optimal structures that minimize such problems when operating within these segments. Now, it's often tempting to point fingers at others when these issues occur. So we can tell, this is problem from one of our B2B partner, from a wholesaler, or one of the OTA. It's first of all, it's important to recognize that our primary responsibility is to ensure we have a sound setup in place before seeking someone else to blame. So we need to set up the system in a way which avoids rate leakage as much as possible. Now, here are some of the tips which or recommendations you can say to avoid the rate leakage or the rate disparity issues. So, to provide a comprehensive response to this question, here we are. I'm suggesting basically a set of guidelines and actionable strategies for approaching rate structures and content management. So, the rule number one is the world is becoming increasingly interconnected. So if you continually attempt to ward off the distribution of your hotel rooms on OTAs without established agreements, you'll end up investing a significant amount of valuable time chasing elusive issues because you have not established an agreement about who you want this to sell this rate to, at what conditions, etc. So instead, shift your focus towards identifying opportunities within this challenge. Craft a well thought out strategy and configuration for your rate management. For instance, if the goal is to prevent your rates from being sold at lower prices due to leakage, ensure that your setup is designed to minimize the impact when it occurs and make it easy for you to spot and take corrective actions or measures. Rule number two, establish effective check in protocols at the hotel. So if you harbor suspicions that a particular wholesaler or website is not adhering to the established rules, consider gathering reservation confirmation letters during the check-in process as one of the steps. Now, by this, when you implement this, your reception staff during the check-in, they collect the booking voucher from the client. You will see, for example, if you have received a booking, for example, from an agent which is called XYZ. However, the guest is giving you the voucher of an agent which is ABC. So here you basically catch them because you received from a booking request from another partner, whereas the guest is carrying a voucher from another travel agency. So this gives you an indication that the partner you've got the booking from is leaking your rate to someone else, and that way you can use this voucher against them. And if you have set this up in the agreement and the condition says that you can have some legal actions against them, you can go for that as well. So by doing that, so you can support your wholesale partner in identifying and addressing any non-compliant activity. So the first cycle below signifies a potential scenario involving leakage of qualified dynamic rates, while the subsequent two circles represent potential static rates leakage situation. Now for this one, basically there's a diagram which for some technical limitations, for some reason I wasn't able to include here or in the following slide. I'll be sharing that with you separately as a PDF, so you can see the structure. It'll show you basically, so you will have a clear understanding how this happens and how this rate leakage is linked, how they are linked, these partners and all those agencies which are getting the rates from there. So you will have basically a better understanding